Hello my brothers, today's Choosing Beggars gives us everything from people demanding Christmas lights on someone's house, a woman sneaking a child into a hotel, and a middle-aged woman scamming a teenager to buy them food at a store. Isn't this world filled with just wonderful people? Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Let's get straight into it. This one's originally entitled, No Christmas Lights? Looks like I ruined Christmas. So my parents have had a super decked out Christmas light show for the past 5 years at their home. It's choreographed to music and they collect donations for the local children's cancer center. It's pretty awesome. Been on the local news, the whole shebang. This year, in October, they decided to move just outside of town, and since they gave us a sweet deal, my husband and I bought the house as our first home. Before they started packing, I had told my stepdad he could leave it all up and we could monitor everything, so that the show could still go on one more year in this spot before telling everyone it was moving next year. He was positive he'd get it up and running over there, so he took it all with. He didn't. The computer crashed, everything was custom to our house, not the new one. Fast forward to Thanksgiving evening. People show up outside my place expecting lights like previous years. Some see there is literally nothing on the house and just drive away. Others have come back during the day to ask about it. Some are understanding and congratulate us on our house, and we point them to the Facebook page to follow for updates. Others, not so much. I was getting the mail after work one day and some lady pulled right up to me as I was carefully navigating the snow and ice with my cane and honked at me. She demanded to know where the lights were and when they'd be put up. After explaining that the prior owners had moved and would have the show again next year at their new house, she shushed me.
Shh, no, I mean this house. When will you have lights on this house? We come here every year and my daughter was very disappointed when there were none.
Probably never. As you can see by my cane, I don't get around easily so I can't climb ladders. Plus all of our spare money goes to my medication and doctor's appointments, so lights aren't exactly in our budget.
That's ridiculous. You have to put up lights. Go out and buy some. Not the cheap crap either. You need a show like before. I want to bring my family next weekend, so you better get on it fast.
Then she backs up, pulls around me and drives off. I chuckled and told my husband about the loon after I got inside. Apparently, just days before, he had a similar conversation with the very same lady while snow blowing in the driveway. We saw a car stop by the next weekend, so we shut the curtains and pretended not to be home, while she hammered on our door and screamed at us that we were ruining her family's Christmas. Apparently we're the worst because a cripple won't spend medication money on lights for strangers. Look lady, if a family is generous enough to put on a wonderful light display at their home for free, that's on them to choose to do it or not. You aren't owed anything. Especially considering the parents who actually run the light show have moved home. Their location is no longer the same, so neither are the lights. It's like she's thinking, well, we've always been here for lights, so I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be here. I feel like they should have just put up a big sign that said, no lights, go away. This next one was originally entitled, But I Want Yours, because this one is broken. So some background information, I work in a business where trimmed and smooth fingernails is required so we don't scratch our clients. I use a small glass nail file to get rid of those sharp edges. Everyone at work always asks where I got it and if they can use it. So for Christmas, I ordered some off Amazon to give out as Christmas gifts. On with our story. I put the files in a wrapped box with a hole at the top and a sign that said, Happy Holidays from 3X Monkey Poop. That's their Reddit name, but I kinda hope that's their name in real life. Please take one. Coworker 1 catches me between sessions.
Now those files you brought in are wonderful, but the blue one is broken? But I know what to do. Trade me yours for this one.
I like mine, and there's a few left in the box. Just throw that one away. Note, mine has flowers on it, and the ones I got are full-sized with one color.
Yours is pretty and smaller than this one. I want yours.
Enter coworker 2.
You should give her yours. It's Christmas! She doesn't want a broken one?
I bought enough for everyone to have one, and have a few spares. Just take one.
You're not very good at this. You're supposed to make me happy with a present. This one is broken and yours isn't.
I have clients, and I walk out. I'm still hearing about how I don't know how to celebrate the holidays correctly from them. Please people, if you get a free present, just accept the free present. I feel like I'm the person I'd get the broken one and I'd be too awkward to even say like, oh, this one's broken, can I swap it for another one? I would just be like, thanks, and I would put it in my pocket and then I'd go home and be like, why'd I get the broken one? This next one was called, no, you can't have a Christmas holiday for free, even if the child is already here. So I work for a large, international, upscale package holiday company. For the winter, our biggest sellers is the ski catalogue. I work in the sales department, so I'm constantly getting people asking for discounts or people saying that they have a travel blog and will review us, so clearly they deserve a free holiday. We are fairly pricey, so none of this is hardly rare. Today, I get pulled into the office by the manager because a customer I sold a fairly expensive holiday for was fuming. I actually expected to be told that I had made an expensive mistake, but instead, my manager thought I would enjoy the whole story. I vaguely remember that she had complained that it was too expensive and didn't want any of the cheaper alternatives. She'd booked one of our more expensive resorts and told me she would leave the youngest of her 3 kids at home, aged 5, as she'd be too young to enjoy it properly. Again, not unusual to leave a child or two with the grandparents, but I thought she must have been a bit mean to leave her daughter for Christmas. As it turned out, she had taken the youngest child anyway and smuggled her into the resort somehow. Staff at the resort became suspicious when she asked for about 10 pillows and another blanket. After investigating this, she was confronted and was told she had to pay. Apparently, I had told her that it would be fine to take the child into the room. I didn't. When they checked the recordings and found out she was lying, she turned on the waterworks begging to be allowed to stay due to the spirit of Christmas or whatever, as she couldn't afford the extra child's price. The resort's general manager eventually allowed her to stay, but only if she'd pay about £900, which is roughly 60% of the actual cost, which she did. Now this should be the end of the story, but it isn't. After coming home, she sent an email to our back office demanding a refund of the £900 she spent, as the whole experience has ruined her family's Christmas. We said no. I feel like this probably happens more commonly than you think. But come on, like if you're gonna smuggle your child in, don't alert the staff by saying, hey, can I have 10 extra pillows and some extra blankets? That just screams like something suspicious is going on. This one was called Ruined Her Honeymoon. I fly a lot, and I have this annoying thing that makes me need to pee a lot while on flights. Every hour or less. That's why I always book an aisle seat, so that I don't need to keep bothering others to get up for me. Especially on long-haul flights. A few years back, flying from Berlin to New York with Air Berlin, I tried reserving an aisle seat, but the only one available was a premium one. I added almost $100 to the ticket price so that I can get an aisle seat. This couple boards. They were apparently on their honeymoon, but for some reason didn't think to select seats in advance, so they had gotten assigned with separate seats at check-in. One of them got a free premium seat next to the window, next to me, and the other a middle seat a few rows back. EB, or the entitled B, jams herself in the seat next to me without asking me to get up or move. At this point, she's already angry at something. She immediately clicks the call flight attendant button and huffs and puffs at every passenger boarding as if they are grabbing her potential seats. As a flight attendant walks by, EB goes full on with her honeymoon, and that it's not right that the airline didn't automatically place her and her husband together or give them both a free upgrade, and that she demands to sit with her husband. The flight apparently is fully booked. No available seats and no easy ability to place the lovely couple together. The flight attendant at this point, being polite, looks at me and says, "Sir, would you mind switching seats with this lady's husband?" I ask what seat he's in, and it's in a middle seat, economy row. Not wanting to explain the whole pee issue in public, I say, "Sorry, but I really need to be in an aisle seat." Flight attendant gets pissed. I hope that pun was intended, at me, and she now needs to deal with it. The EB starts talking loudly in a different language with her husband, who's a few rows back, huffing and puffing, trying to make a scene. A few minutes later, and about 3 flight attendants working on it, while EB is yelling at them, her husband, but has yet to say a single word to me, she's moved to sit by her husband and some people are moved around for it. I get evil looks from the flight attendants during the entire flight. I pee every hour. Air Berlin goes bankrupt. Not sure if this incident is related, or is it? Having pee paranoia on a flight is like bad enough. I can't imagine having an actual medical condition that makes you need to pee every hour. On top of that, being pressured to have to change a seat just for these people because they didn't do due diligence in actually booking the right seats in. Our last story for today, it might legit make you angry, so just a warning about that. This happened to me years ago, but this story still gets my blood boiling and is too perfect not to share. I was walking into the grocery store one day when this woman came up to me asking if I'd buy her a package of hot dogs and buns for her kids. She was somewhere around 40 or 50 and had an "I do drugs on the regular" look about her. I hesitated but said sure and told her to grab the couple items while I found what I'd come in for and meet me back at the checkout area. 10 minutes later, she manages to come back with a cart full of crap that she just starts unloading on the conveyor belt for the cashier to ring up. Expensive TV dinners, canned goods, toiletries, just all kinds of stuff. It's important to note that at this time I was a high schooler working my first lowly minimum wage 8 or 10 hours a week job, and my checks were literally only about $50 each. So I most certainly did not have the money to finance her lifestyle. I looked at her in utter disbelief and she just says, "This? I just got a few extra things. Shouldn't be a problem," with a sheepish look. In my head, I was screaming, "Are you freaking kidding me? This is not what I agreed to, and you're about to overdraft my bank account to the point of no return, lady. I may not look broke, but I can promise you I am." But of course, in my youth, I was such a non-confrontational softie, so I just said, with a hint of annoyance, "This isn't what you asked for." She starts rummaging through the cart, pretending to be deciding on what to take out. Then she has the nerve to start negotiating with me about what I will and won't buy for her. "Well, I guess I can put this back," long pleading, looking at me. "This can probably wait too. But I really like these TV dinners. Is it okay if I just get a few of these and the canned goods and the toilet paper with the hot dogs and bread?" Even with her putting the majority of the cart back, I still up spending an extra $25 on her stuff, while I anticipated only spending $5 because she backed me into a social corner. The line was growing, the cashier was impatient, I was too shy to put my foot down all the way. Doesn't seem like a lot now, but that $30 meant a lot to a teenage me back then. It still irritates the heck out of me to think about her being a grown woman so blatantly trying to get over on a child. Needless to say, I learned my lesson. Ugh, why are people like this? It's obvious that this is like a lowball scam, like appear really needy, "Oh, you need to help out my children," "Oh, it's just a hot dog and some buns," like the cheapest food you could probably possibly have at a store. Doesn't seem too harmless. And then put somebody in like a really awkward situation. It's obvious they picked a really vulnerable person too, like a young person who probably felt really obliged. Don't ever feel bad about saying no to people like that, because if you then have to spend your money on them, it means it's not going to people who actually need it. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.